The round 17 Saturday games are in the books, and it started really, really well on the Eels side of the ball there in that first half, especially. If you had any Eels guys, they, for the most part, did really well, unless you had Maddo with a sort of a middling score there. But let's get the bad news out of the way, and that's the Ponga and Trent Liero. I'm not sure what they think they get out of really just running out the line and trying to hit blokes. I've not seen one of them put on a big hit before, so I don't see the point of it, apart from getting a missed tackle and being 5 to 10 metres out of the defensive line and creating a hole for their team. It just seems a bit scat. It seems a bit all over the shop. And, thankfully, Trent came back into his shell and didn't do it as much in the second half. I think, Bellamy would have got a rocket up under him. He just tried to do everything way too fast. The one there where he was trying to play the ball, he'd put the ball on the ground and before he even thought about getting up, and then he ended up just running 3 metres past the ball and leaving it there and thought he was going to get away with it not being a knock on. Just things like that was just disgusting. So, and then Ponga, to score a try early, looked really good, and then just went backwards the rest of the game, wasn't good. So let's go through the good stuff here. And that was, Mitch Moses in that one with his awesome round 15 score before Origin there. A lot of people brought him in for that, had traded him out last week, and obviously he would have got a good score last week, but thankfully to us that held. And 82 in this one. It was 50 odd in the first half, and you end up with another line break in the second half there, and some good meters run there for 198. So a little bit of everything across the board. 8 goals in this one, just the 1 try assist. So really, it was in his running that where he got everything in this one. The 1 missed tackle only there, which was great. And if you did captain him, you did beat out the Johnson owners and the rest by 11 there in that one. So very, very good with Moses on that front. Hopgood as well for those that pretty much everyone who owns him, obviously. But, for those that don't, it was, again, I had a few people ask me a few weeks ago, do we actually need Hopgood? He's gone bang, bang 2 weeks in a row scoring tries. So good on Jermaine there with the try assist as well. That was awesome work on his part. So he just continues to go from strength to strength there. And 60 minutes for him and probably a 55 score on the regular will be where he's at, 50 to 55. But in this game where it was a little bit more on the attacking side, he was able to still get really good points in that. A couple of turnover tackles as well. So that was that on that one. Hammer on that front, 65 there, and 2 tries. Obviously a long range try and plenty of running in that second one, the first try as well. So 279 meters for him, a much bigger score than he has done for a good while. So good stuff for Hammer on that one. Penasini, we would have liked after the first half effort, and he was on 52. As I said, really nothing went right there for the Eels in that second period, and Brad Arthur's been asking them for a full 80-minute performance, and they continue to not deliver on that. So if they do want to get to the top echelon of teams and go on and play for higher honours, play for the premiership, they do need to improve that. And again, another week where they showed that they could not do that at this point. So Penasini only got the 7 points in the second half, hardly got any ball, just nothing really happened. But a try assist and 2 tries in that first half sealed the deal for him and really makes up for the 26 from last week. That right hand side is incredible, and Cartwright, when he can hit the line and get that nice offload away, he's very damaging as well. And 45 average across the entire season, and that's some games on the bench as well. Has been great for Cartwright there. Gutho continues to have a big purple patch here, so well done to those that grabbed him. He's having his best scores of the year in this last 4 or 5 weeks, so well done to Gutho owners. Junior there with 35 minutes for 53 points. It's pretty impressive. We had Dejan Arce there, Arce there with 52. He continues to score well as well, averaging 45 for the season. For anyone who grabbed him, awesome work. Sarko still managed 51 in this type of game. Very, very impressive. He shows that he has improved this year. Not even close. How big his improvement is. I'd say he'd have to go closely down as the most improved player this year. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that is anywhere close to him in this season. I'm still annoyed with the 9 points, the turnover tackle try saver. To get 9 points from that, Asako did all the work, which he deserves the points for that one, and then Balance Tafare comes in and hits him over the top. He didn't get the try saver, but he did get the turnover tackle from that. He did get the try saver at 1 point, so they did take that away, which I suppose is a little bit more fair. But still, the 9 point or 10 points, including the tackle for that play, when they're that close to scoring, and yes, they had a hand in it. It should be 4 or 5 points, but for that to be the same. More than a try. Again, I'll keep harping on that all year. Jesse Brom still has some good games in it, doesn't he? Bailey Simonson's 47 for him. He had a line break, he had a try, 207 meters. He is at home in that center position. So if you've grabbed him in the last few weeks, good again. Could be an option for sure in round 19 if you are looking at someone that you need, a wing fullback or a center. He's definitely one of those guys that we've touched on a little bit. A lot of people are looking at Brimson, but Simonson doesn't have the issue of missing round 19 with Origin. Madison there, 44, 63 minutes, so 21 tackles only for him, unfortunately. The 138 meters run, 2 turnover tackles, just did a bit of everything. There was some pretty average ball handling from some of these Dolphins for sure on that front. Val there, 43, one try, one line break. Just got through pretty easy. That Nicarima got him some early pill, and he did a great job there. It did look like Nicarima was kind of running things for the most part with Sean O'Sullivan there, especially especially in that second half when they started to make their comeback. Nicarima is that type of player where he gets on the front foot and does plenty of good work. But Val, you're very much hoping that he gets that 3 weeks out of him. 17, 18, 19. I know a big chunk of people, I think over 100 in the top 1,000 grabbed Val this week. And I hope he gets to round 19 for you guys, because if he doesn't, it's going to be frustrating if that's the week that Branko comes back, because there's every chance that he's either next week or it could be the one after that. But Val played well for the most part. He didn't have any missed tackles, so maybe he does keep the spot. Who knows? Did well. Davey, 41, got a try as well. Nichols, Lemuelu, 34. They ended up taking away his second turnover tackle, which is really frustrating. It was clearly he was in the tackle when they lost the ball, so whatever. Seems to happen. That's actually a few times this year it's happened with Lem, but 34. We'll take that completely. He had no negatives in this one, and if he did play at the start of in that first half, you would have seen a lot more missed tackles from him, especially on him playing on that left side. But he did come on after the 25 minutes or 20, I think it was 27 minutes or something like that when he came on, and did a job. One tackle break in there, one turnover tackle, no misses, no issues there. So still got 34. He'll lose some decent cash, but pretty normal for centers. Like a lot of people traded Lem to Bird and netted 5 less points and an extra trade and an extra 60k. So both of them will go down. That's that. McGrady 34. So kicked off the game early with a try, and then pretty solid overall. A couple of missed tackles and error is what it is. O'Sullivan, as I said, just a little bit of a low game for him. Obviously, kick meters were 190 when Cody Nicarima's at 150 there. So just a welcome back to him. Not a nice one, but 26 tackles, 1 miss. Ray Stone, if anyone grabbed him, not super exciting. The big news here is that Brennan Hands, so 31 in his 71 minutes, actually ended up that what's his name? Hopgood. I can't remember his name now. Hopgood ended up going to dummy half for that last 10 minutes. So 31 for Brendan. Obviously, wasn't the type of game for him to score super well, just with the limited amount of tackles. But 28 made, 1 turnover tackle, ran a little bit there with 1 error. He was fine for his 31. The big news here is Hodgson is out for the year. So Hands, if you did grab him this week, we found out I think after the game, or halfway through, about half time or something, that Hodgson was gone. So it would have been nice to get that an hour or so earlier. Wasn't to be, and that's fine. But he's definitely an option for round 19 if you need a hooker in your side. There's also Simkin next week because Hands is out. In round 18, he will be a bit more expensive, and 30s and 40s are going to be in his wheelhouse pretty comfortably. So, do you want to play 300 and something thousand to get one of those guys, or do you want to go 270 odd for Simkin this week? But Hams will be there for the entirety of the year. That's the big improvement on someone like Simkin, who's probably got like a four weeker there. All right, Nicarima was low, so if you held on to him, frustrating. And Isaiah Katoa, 11, played the 35 minutes there. Harrison Graham, 23. But that's it. All right, let's go to the next one there. Not one I was super excited about, given I only had one player and he got 17, but let's go through it anyway. Peachy, anyone has him, an incredible game for him, a couple of tries, a try assist. Cogger, this is a sad one for non-owners. I thought he could average 45 to 50, and he's just gone straight to a 56 average. Had the lower game when he played the lesser minutes in that first one. And a 70 in this with no try assists is pretty ridiculous. 2 turnover tackles, 0 negatives at all, 3 forced dropouts. It's just all over the park for Jack. And if you grabbed him, hopefully for non-owners, it's one more week and then Cleary's back in round 19. But it's absolutely been worth it. You're going to make probably close to 200k now if he gets another 50 or so next week. So well done to Cogs and his owners, the 2 goals as well. Isaac Tungo, back at his best, 61. So a couple of weeks in a row now, he's gone massive. And this is all just in base and base power, as they say. 10 tackle breaks, 247 meters on that one. Sorensen, 58. He has, proved to owners that he's going to be able to do a great job. He just had the one error there, but other than that, a line break, a try assist in that front, a line break assist there, 25 tackles, 120 meters, doing his job, playing the full 80 in this one. Be interested to see what happens here going forward, but obviously next week I'd imagine he's going to be that guy. He seems ahead of Hosking, who did end up coming into play, so he would have got dropped to New South Wales Cup. I think that'll happen again next week, and yeah, Sorrow did a great job. Frizzell as well, 57. Edwards finally getting that try that we, owners all wanted. A decent score, but, with that early try, you would have hoped for more to make up for some of the bad weeks in previous. At least Fisher-Harris here has done well the last couple for those that do own him after his shockers. But, 49 for him. Yeah, you'll take that for sure at that price point, and he'll stop losing money. Yay. Hastings got a try. It was a nice left foot step. I was impressed by that. Dylan Lucas was really low in this game and ended up really coming back well with 47 tackles. He seems to be the tackle bot man. I'm not sure if he'll keep his spot next week, but if he does, that center position is going to be pretty helpful because that means he's jumped Fitzgibbon, unless Fitzgibbon has some concussion issues that are prolonged from there. Those that held Greg Marzu or grabbed him in there, 45. So that's just all in base and tackle breaks, which is good. Hosking the 40, so 29 tackles, 5 misses for him is where he went undone, unfortunately. But yeah, you cop that 40 for that last one. He came in for it, and you can trade him out now. Elliott the 33, so just 12 missed tackles is disgusting. So that's all we need to say on Elliott. He's not back. Last week was a mirage. And hope you didn't grab him there. Obviously, the buy in round 19 probably pushed a lot of people away. Dane Gagai, the 30, after his really good week last week and his consistency. So, it is hard for outside backs in, any team against Penrith. Just be aware of that with guys like Ponga, Gags, Dom Young. Got a nice line break try assist, which was good, but not great on that front. And then you had obviously, Marzu, he can kind of score against anyone because he gets those tackle breaks and the runs out of trouble, which really helped him out. James Salmon there with 30, got a try and the line break, but 8 missed tackles kind of hurts his score for sure. Bradman Best, if anyone who grabbed him a bunch of weeks ago, 26. Again, all the outside backs seem to score really low against the Panthers, so you'd imagine a bounce back game next week for those of, Ponga, 17, the 8 missed tackles. Again, just how do you have 8 missed tackles as a fullback and made 5? So he attempted 13. A lot of them were just running out the line and just being real scat with it. But yeah, that was that on that front. And then we'll go to the last game now, and that was the Storm up against Manly here. And Nelson finally comes out with an absolute belter with 71 with a try and a terrific right foot step to get by Ruben Carrick on that one. But yeah, I don't believe he would have been stopping him one-on-one there, that's for sure. But 36 tackles, 3 misses, 158 meters, and the try was good stuff for Nels. For those who grabbed him, I wouldn't be looking to pick him up. Any of these guys at the moment with 1 week until they're both their buys in round 19, I'd be holding off. But just a grain of salt when I do talk about these guys. Jerome Hughes, if he picked him up, happy days again. What about the turnaround in his form? Munster being out means he does control things, that's for sure. But I'm really impressed with Jonah Pezzett, who we'll get to a little bit later. But yeah, Hughes able to get try assists, and tackle well. So back to some of his really good form. Ruben Garrick in this one, he got 18 points in try savers, turnover tackles, and what else was it? And kick defusals. So yeah, crazy there on that front. But 213 meters, 9 tackle breaks. Did get 1 goal. Obviously, they get pumped, but they will be better in other weeks for sure. They kind of held up a fight for a good portion of this game. And Garrick at fullback is him. He's way different to what he is in the centres or the wing, because he can score well in pretty average games for his team. Centre, if his team's going well, he's going to do well for sure. Same on the wing. At fullback, he can do his thing, and he has a lovely crab run. He's great running. Yeah, he's a good runner in general, so he's going to do well. With 68 for him, made up for the poor score last week, which was great. Good stuff there for Garrick owners. Don't grab him next week, but look at him in round 20 for sure. As a gun wing fullback, I think he moves up into that echelon, which he did last year and previous years. Anytime he gets into that fullback jersey. All right, the middles, Welch, King, both had big numbers there. So obviously the Manly boys running through the middle a lot. There's a lot of tackles there for those two boys. They didn't run at the arrow as much unless he was trying to run out the line. Welch, King, 47-49 tackles, 62-61 points. So massive game for Welch there. Always sits around that 45 average, doesn't he? And King, if you grabbed him, awesome. Olakau'atu. He's such a weird man, isn't he? He got a try early. He was sitting in like the 30 odds with 5 minutes to go. Got that line break, that junk line break at the end, and picked up a bunch of tackle breaks and some big run meters. I think it was 30 odd minutes in. He had 5 meters run and he had a try. So one of them, it was obviously off the kick there. So he's a strange man. He did end up the 58, but yeah, just a week-to-week basis, I just think he is around that 608k price for a reason, in my opinion. I think he's a 600 to 650 guy because he has too many of those 30s in his game. This was a good week, an up week, obviously, but yeah, most of the time it's not. Tried to caution a few people away from Grant. Like, he always has that boom potential, but it seems like after Origin, he does seem to not exactly be himself. He does seem to be a little bit tired compared to the standalone weeks, because this should have been a week where he could dominate. But, he's in there just tackle bot, really. 52 tackles, 6 misses. Plenty of running in the footy at 82, but, yeah, and 59 kick meters, of course. Just get the one extra kick meter, but 47 for him. He gets that little bit cheaper for those that don't own him. You can grab him in round 20 now for sure. Paseka, just a standard 47 for him. Jerry Evans, he'll drop some cash as well, which is good for non-owners, not for owners. Nick Meaney, the 37. One of those kind of games. Looks like he's carrying a bit of a hamstring injury, so hopefully he is okay. He did get the early mark there. Hopefully he can get back for next week, because that would be a big kick. Trent Liera, I did end up holding him. It was either, I could do the double trade down to, I think, Taff and then go Liera up to Boyd, but then I would need an edge next week and didn't know how to get to him. So, and I'm just going, let's just save trades, do one more week without, and then I can really dominate from here on. I think I should, the 32 will be okay. He'll have a big price drop, but yeah, it is what it is sometimes. We'll have to deal with that, and we will. But yeah, Jonah Pezza, 2 try assists, 8 try. I think he was really crafty. Some of his kicks, he just seems like a really smart fella. So he's a good system guy for the Storm. So that'll be great. And then really from there, Schuster the 17, Kohler the 14, both not great on that front. And that's where we'll end this video, guys. 3 games to come for your Sunday. I wish you all the best of luck for those 3.